when I was just a boy. We'll call it 15 or so.
Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Each week, one of us selects an artist to bring to the panel for everyone to listen to, discuss, and rank the studio albums. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
That's me.
Special guest Joe.
That's him.
And our unstoppable Chihuahua, Bill. He's here too.
Oh, snap.
Shout out Sunhammer420 for his comment on our Queens of the Stone Age Is It Art video. This week, though, we're talking modern baseball. If you'd like to choose an artist for us to cover, along with some other cool perks, maybe even join us on the show, check out our Patreon in the link below. All right, brief history / relationship with the band. Joe, you're the special guest. Why don't you go first?
That's right. So the year was 2016 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I knew a gentleman whose name is now escaping me. I've been thinking about talking about him all week long, and now I can't remember his name.
Damn.
It'll
Poor
come
guy.
to me. Yeah. Shout out Druid City Brewing Company. But he was he had just bought this album, and I was like, oh, I've
Holy
never heard
Ghost.
of them. Holy Ghost. I was like, oh, I've never heard of modern baseball. Who are these? Like, oh, man, you got to listen to them. I'm so excited about their new album coming out. So on and so forth. So a couple of weeks later, I was like, oh, yeah, what band was that I needed to listen to? Tyler, I knew how to come up with it. And so I put on Holy Ghost, and I was like, holy shit. This album is great. I mean, we'll get into that in a moment, but I was very impressed by it. And so basically started listening to their everything they'd put out so far and really dug them. Also led me to the Front Bottoms by going this way. So,
Oh, okay. I was into the Front Bottoms before modern baseball.
Mm-hmm.
How I found this band was through Joe, which is ironic because usually it's the other way around. But I kept telling him he needed to listen to the Wonder Years, and he said, no, fuck that. You need to listen to modern baseball. And I'd say, no, fuck that. You need to listen to the Wonder Years. And until eventually we were like two old grumpy men in that movie. We eventually listened to each other's picks. And
Grumpier old man.
Grumpy,
That's right.
yeah. We are the grumpiest old men. The album, the movie that never made it out.
Shout out Anne Margaret.
But I checked. I think it was Holy Ghost was the first one I picked up or listened to, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I see what Joe's talking about. So that, I mean, and then after that, I just went back and listened to them all. So it was very hard to rank them. I'll say that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What about you, Tim?
You know, never heard of this artist. Completely brand new discography for me. So I'm completely in the dark on this.
Yeah, I was hoping Joe'd have better notes because I ain't got good notes. But we gonna get right on into it.
I got a couple.
Look, I've got a notebook right here beside me.
All right. Well, what's
And
it
it
say?
has-
That's all you need to do is flash the notebook.
Yeah.
It has zero notes about
Yeah, right. I've been doodling all day long.
The back of my notes is the printer page, the test page it prints out. Because it pisses me off when you change the ink and they run this page without your permission and use all your ink and a piece of paper. So I reused it.
Actually, I wonder if I do have notes in one of these notebooks because I did write notes at some point. I just don't know where they went.
You want me to start it off, then?
You might as well.
Man, we got to start vetting these fucking special guests.
That's right. Who is this guy?
I just work here.
Those are my top songs. I was about to spoil some shit. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Get to my second
Shit, I need
page.
to do top songs. This is how bad off I am.
So this album is basically Bryn and Jake. I mean, they were fucking kids. They recorded it it was produced by Ian, who ends up being their bass player on the next album. So it's real like DIY. They're just fucking kids, you know. The opening lines of this discography are: I want to start from the top, maybe like a do-over, replace the voices in my head with blind innocence. That's like a 4, maybe a 5 out of 5. Kind of sums up the entire discography and how the band ended. The favorite line, though, is we're pissing away our time because we're pissing away these beers. No monumental moment ever came from saying, come on, dude, just take one more shot. I mean, that's some fucking college level writing right there. That's adolescence.
Mm-hmm.
Tears Over Beers, probably their most well-known song, if not their second most.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, when I was talking about doing this band, or I was listening to them, the kids asked me what I was doing. It was they had heard of modern baseball, and they're like in high school. I'm like, how the fuck do you know this band that like has been gone all these years? And they say everyone loves Tears Over Beers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a song about a girl. 99% of this album is.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting about it is how much maturity it has, not in just the lyrics, but musically, for them being as young as they were. The tempo changes, the pacing. It's crazy. They were only like 18, 19. The Weeknd's great. Hindsight is crazy with this band and the lyrics. At Chloe K. I couldn't type the at sign. Excel didn't like that. I can name a few people in my life that, like, you know, you go back and you see them, and all you do is you drink some beers and you talk about the old days, and you never really make any new memories. And you know, I know a couple people like that. Not you guys though, because we're still making new memories.
That's right. Every day.
Every day.
Well, and then we're letting them,
We're
go out in one ear and out your other,
Well, that's why we record it, so we can remember them forever.
That's true too.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Whether you like it or not.
Except for all the shit that gets edited out. I delete that. And nobody ever needs to see that. House is fine. I think you were in my profile picture. It's short. Back and vocals are real beautiful. Redone. The outro soars. I like how they, do the redone thing.
Uh-huh.
Coke. I don't fucking know. Jake's vocals though. He sounds like John K. He reminds me of John K. Sampson from the Weeknd's. But the song itself reminds me of a Front Bottom song. See You Sucker, but I won't fucking wait for you to stop lingering. You've got too clingy into this town that you supposedly hate. Again, I know a lot of people clinging to that small shitty town life. They bitch about it, but they love it. They won't leave it. They won't leave it. Look Out, just a short song about a girl. Play Ball. Adrienne comes back on as singing this one. She nails it. Other than that, there isn't much else to note. Cole's just kind of happens. Not the best closure they have, but it's serviceable closure. I mean, it's a strong debut. You can put it on. There's nothing I'd really skip, but nothing really, stands out too much as well either. But it's a decent album. All right, Joe. Do you need?
I was going to say, do we want a sandwich? We want a sandwich Tim on these?
Yeah, let's put Tim in the middle.
Okay. So I get to at least decide which way I face. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything for Redo or Tears Over Beers. The Weeknd had a cool breakdown section, and I liked the vocal harmonies. The at Chloe K, like, you're talking about like the good old days and all these memories and stuff, and yet here they are just talking about a bunch of social media platforms that are still in use, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I needed a social media ballad. Hours Outside in the Snow kind of reminded me of the Strokes. And then also and then it kind of turns into like, okay, well, maybe it's the Strokes meets the Violent FMs, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
can see
figure out
Lil
where this
Films.
band is coming from. I did like the outro was pretty cool. Had some cool vocal harmonies going on in there. I think you were in my profile picture. Is this Days and Days?
Did
Um,
you hear some Popeye in there? What?
well, no, it's like take out the Popeye,
And the
and
olive oil.
it's like,
Olive
and
oil.
that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, Redone had some cool drums, and I do like the redo redone. I'm hoping that was an A/B thing on the vinyl. If not, they missed out there.
I don't
But
have
yeah,
vinyl
it had
here.
like a cool drum part. Um, the song kind of dragged on though. Like halfway through it, I was like, okay, well, what's going on here? Um, and really up until this point, like I can say like the production on here is serviceable. Everything sounds really good. Um, uh, yeah, my last note on Redone is it also kind of like sounds like a bad attempt at a Lou Reed song. Um, so there, like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like where this band is coming from. I've got a lot of questions. Cookie really didn't do anything for me. See Ya Sucker was the first one I felt that actually had any energy to it. And then Lookout, same thing, has some energy, but it's over before I knew it. I literally turned around and it was over. And then after that, like Play Ball didn't do anything for me, and Coles was just there. Um, yeah, as we go through the discography, like it just reinforces the same basic questions I have after listening to this album, which are like, who is this marketed to?
High school, college kids in
Uh,
2012.
Okay, because I mean, it
We
wasn't in
missed.
2012, but I was a high school kid and a college kid at one point, and I've been thinking, and it's like, I'm not sure what kind of mood this album's for. Like, at no point in my life would I like reach for this. Like, it's the lyrics were all kind of juvenile, which okay, that's fine. But they also kind of just start turning into just word salads. And like especially on a couple later albums, I'm left dumbfounded by like what I just heard. And yeah, I'm just like I don't see the place for this. And
This
maybe
is
maybe it's just me and I'm just like way off the boat.
you're
And that's fine.
you're
But
too
like
old.
I just
yeah.
I
This
don't
was
see
not.
yeah, okay. Okay.
This wasn't our generation. Like we can't
No.
relate to. Oh my God, is she gonna? What does that status update mean? But the kids in
Well, but I think we
2012
can
can,
because we also have lived through those years.
but not at a teenage level. You know how things are like magnified when you're a teenager.
Well, sure. Yeah, I just don't get it.
And I wasn't going to mention it until the next record, but they are one of the first bands that would do that, where they would mention Twitter or Facebook or profile pictures. Like nobody else is really doing that and mentioning that
Well,
stuff.
and so that's a trope, though. Like, you go back and you listen to a song that mentions MySpace or America Online or something, and it's like that dates it so hard.
It does. It does date it. Yeah.
It's like it's dated before it's out the gate.
Because, there is no Twitter now. It's X.
Right. Right. And who knows what it'll become now that it's, James Bond number 27 or whatever number we're up to.
All right, Joe.
So I,
Because
and I came into this with I mean, how many years ago? 8 years ago is when I found it. So age was not really, it wasn't like I was a rip-roaring teenager whenever I found this or was a part of the scene that they were in when they were kids either. So I do get some of the disconnect from some of these things. I take it in the meaning of the same high school feelings that I had about certain things. Obviously, Twitter wasn't necessarily it, but not bad. But my feeling on this album overall is I'm a fan of every song on here. I don't really think there's a bad song going through the album. I listened to it and I was trying to I was like, all right, well, what am I going to say that's not a glowing review about any of these albums because of my feelings about them. And the only thing I could really tell you on this one is there are a lot of lyrically, there are a lot of choices that are, you can tell they're young. We've got some bad rhymes going into some of these songs at Chloe K. We've got some really forced rhyming schemes in here that you can find throughout some of the songs.
And some future, the records coming up, they don't even bother rhyming. It's just weird. They're just spewing
It's just
words.
word salad. Yeah.
Right. And I prefer that rather than the forced rhyme on this album
I do
that
too.
I heard. Because there are a couple of them where I was like, that's not a choice I believe you really needed to make there. I mean, it was just, that's your youth. I'm seeing your youth come out in this writing. And it's amazing. Still love the album. I think it's really, really good. I'm with you. I love the redone. That was one of my favorite things going through. Tears Over Beer is a great song. I do love the oh come ons and the oh God, like Right Next to Me. The little things they interject in some of the songs. So those are great. At Chloe K may be my least favorite song on the album.
Oh man.
I still think it's great, but it is because of it. It does date things with the talking about Twitter and notifications. I understand where they're going with it, and I can put myself. But if I had to pick a least favorite off of the album, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's still really good, so that's a tough one. I love I think you were in my profile picture once. I think that's a great song. I don't really have an issue with the finisher. I don't really have an issue with Coles or Play Ball. Look Out. I think those are really good also. So strong album overall, especially for the age and that everyone was, and just kind of having a first album. This is not my first album bias type times. I just think it's a good first attempt.
Well, and you guys keep mentioning their age, but this band started when they were in college. So they're adults.
Yeah, 18, 19, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. But it's not like they're 12-year-old prodigies or anything.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, their lyrics are they're 18, 19-year-old college student lyrics. Like they're about.
Well, yeah, no, they definitely are for sure. Yeah.
And they're right there in the middle of a scene that was taking place. Because you had the Menzingers, you had the Wonder Years, Title Fight. Like there was that whole 2000s emo scene. Like they're right there in the middle of it.
Okay.
But they didn't get any kind of. Like you just don't hear people talk about this band. It's weird.
Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, I think the people who do talk about them are very
Yes.
very into them. Into a point
And
where
I can see that. Yeah.
And I don't
People
know.
are really into Hootie and the Blowfish too at one point,
I don't know if you have the same dedication to old Hootie.
No.
Are people clamoring for Hootie to reunite with the Blowfish?
I do believe they are, yeah.
I'm not in that scene, so I don't know.
I believe that offer is out there on the table. But that country career is too lucrative right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Joe, I wish you had your notes. All right.
I thought those were good notes. What are you talking about?
I dialed up into some CompuServe the other day. It was glorious. Hit up all the message boards and news groups.
Now, Bill, he gave me his rankings, so I'm going to input his as we go.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I just
can't wait to see how much he differs so we can give him a bunch of shit when he comes back.
He's lucky there's only 3 that we're ranking here, so
Yeah.
it can't be that.
That's true. Yeah.
Tim gets to guess the next one, and then Joe gets to guess that one. Holy
All
ghost.
right.
They got your dots. All right. Stick around for that. You're going to miss it if you don't.
That's true.
Bunch of boomers
Well, I
talking
wouldn't say
about
I've missed it, Bob.
bunch of boomers talking about modern baseball. Let's go.
Are we
Or else-
boomers now?
Y'all are.
No, we're not boomers. Fuck you. Fucking millennial. We're Gen X, bitch.
That's right.
Gen X for life.
Right. So nice to be
Unfortunately,
forgotten
You're all
again.
of them for life, whatever it is.
No, you fucking millennial. Look at you. Your can's already blurred out. How you doing that?
I don't know. That's pretty cool, though. It's like an advertising block.
Yeah.
Probably some energy drink bullshit all the kids like to drink.
It's probably our shitty internet.
Sam Adams.
That's so weird. It's like blurring out like we don't have the rights to show that.
Sam Adams, if you'd like to sponsor us, you can unblur this now.
Yeah.
Right, please. Help our quality out.
We got that Corona sponsor though. See? All right. Stick around anyway. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We need all the help we can get. You're gonna miss it is next. Our playlist link channel. Click the playlist link down below to watch all these videos in a row.
So that you don't miss it.
So you don't miss it.
That's right.
Yeah, be safe and make good decisions.
But now that you saw my tweets, you know that I'm home, buried in my cell phone.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.